Good morning, YouTube heads. It is your buddy Choppadong. We're going to do an NBA Draftkings version of the player pool today, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth. I've had a couple of questions. New guys have joined the army. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. Click like, click subscribe. You know the deal by now. Notification bell, follow the link in the comments section, dfsarmy.com. Use code CHOP 20% off, blah, 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 right? So we're going to go through from the very, very basics because I was asked to slow down a little bit and kind of show the process a little bit more. And I'll even show you a little bit of the domination station. So the video might run a little bit long, but I'm going to talk fast because I'm going to really, really try to keep this thing as short as possible. So thanks for tuning in as always. Let's kind of get right down to it. You can always follow me out on Twitter, Choppadong. It's the easiest way to join March sweeps and start retweeting some of my work and get entries into me buying your March VIP subscription. The other thing that I do is I go over to the NBA tab, I click the research station, I click DraftKings, boom, I'm up with all the DraftKings stats. The first thing I do is I click the and one pool. You know what, I got asked yesterday to blow it up a little bit too, so why not? Let's just pop it up a notch, right? Now you can maybe read it on your phone. And if you can't, get a telescope. You know how it works. Magnifying glass, whatever. That little thing next to your nightstand where, when you're measuring stuff late at night, you get that little microphone, that little microscope out and kind of figure it. No, I'm kidding. Sixth grade joke there, piss poor humor, but what are you going to get? You're getting what you pay for. The first thing that I do when I sort by and one player pool is I click off by position, by multi-position eligibility. So the first thing I'm going to do is click those point guards on, wait for them to come back up and kind of refresh and do their thing. And then I'm going to click the other point guard spots as well, turn them blue, right? Now that I'm already sorted by the and one player pool, you can see that we run down to about here, about 6, 7, 8 names. So not a very deep position tonight. I like, the higher matchups. I'm going to write down a column of point guard. Okay, on the left hand side, I'm going to have 5 columns: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. And write down the list of point guard first, say 5, 6, 7 names. The more you do, the bigger your player pool is going to get. And you're going to have to go back through and maybe pare it down a little bit yourself, but I can give you the basics. And I can give you the generic starting point from which you do your research and cut a lot of time out for you with this tool. Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Kyle Lowry, CJ McCollum, Mike Conley. I cut it off at Trae Young. I didn't include Trae Young. All right? So those are your. Don't worry about Marcus Smart, Van Vliet, Lou Williams. Those guys, they may pop in later on value. They may pop in later on shooting guards. Who knows? But this is where it starts. That's the base. These are the best matchups on the day. When this and one rating system takes into account home road splits, historical numbers, how you've been running recently, how you've been running on a damn Tuesday night with your shoelaces untied, for all I know. It's got a lot of things that it looks at. It's like 25 or 30 things or more. Field goal attempts, field goals made, all sorts of stuff. And it throws it all together, spins it up and gives it a number and says the higher the number, the better, the better it gets. Anyone over about a 10 or 11 typically has a good shot at hitting value. Now it gets into the middle range here, 14, 15, 16, it getting a little bit off of the value, and then it comes back into the 20s at hitting value again. That's a salary thing. And if I studied a little bit more and fine-tuned it a little bit more, I'd be noticing things like on the lower matchup of Russell Westbrook may need a smash value matchup to hit that number tonight. Being that he's a little bit lower than usual, that may be why that 18 doesn't lead to values, because his price is way too high for that. He needs to be in an absolute smash spot and then do it. But maybe somebody like a Kyle Lowry's not so bad, or a CJ McCollum's not so bad in this middle range because they're a little bit cheaper. Or maybe they need to be down here, price-wise in the low 6s to hit value at this number. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out the correlation to that yet. I just know it has a little, humpity bump up and down to it, where down there around the 11, 12, 13, it tends to hit value pretty well, probably with the cheap guys. And then the middle range is probably where they start getting a little bit too pricey. And for their matchup needs to be even better, because right now they've either caught fire and their price is catching up to them, or something along those lines. Kind of the normal ebbs and flows of DFS pricing. And then when they finally break through that barrier and get 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever, or I think the big number's over 26, now they're in big smash spots again. And that's kind of what we're looking for the really high price guys. Maybe the Kyries, the Russell Westbrooks, the James Hardens, that type, the Anthony Davis types. Okay. Anywho. I will then, second thing I will do is sort by value. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start looking at who's, cranking over 5x. And I'm only still going to take the top 5 or 6 guys because when I'm doing a tighter player pool, I want the best of the best. The rest is fluff. And I see Kyle Anderson, so I'm writing him down, putting a Q next to him. Then I see Lillard repeat. So Lillard up in the top area gets a V next to him so that I can see that he's hit 2 lists. Augustin, Mills, Lowry, V. If you wanted to, Westbrook's a borderline V tonight. If I took it down just one more, 5.3 is pretty strong. I'm putting a V next to him. I didn't originally. I'm putting a V next to him. Okay? And if they're not showing up on that same list that you first wrote down, then you start a second list right below it. And now I can see an area of the and one matchups. I can see an area of the value. The next area, the next area will be kind of like the hot or not. And up in that very top column, I'm going to start putting V's and H's next to people. In that second section, I might put an H next to the guy, right? And I'm looking for 2 list guys and 3 list guys. If I can find those, they become strong plays. So I scroll over here to who's hot, and I sort it by descending next. And I've got CJ McCollum, Jared Bayless, Mike Conley, Shai, Lance again, Seth Curry, Shelvin Mack. I'm not going down quite this far, but I am looking at it. I'm looking, these guys are running over their 3-game sample. Their average points is 6, and 4 points higher than over their 10-game. Something changed. What changed? This is where the research comes in. This is where you need to go. Did an injury open something up? Did a rotation change? Was it just travel and he got more minutes? What the hell happened? Why is his 3-game average spiking? But I have found that if a guy has a great matchup and his hitting value because he's a little bit underpriced and is running hot, he's a very strong play on the night. I can look at the clock watch here and start deciphering between 3-game and 10-game minute averages, right? Who's up? Jared Bayless. Role change, obviously. 29 minutes to 37 in the last game, 38 average over 3 games. Something happened. I don't follow enough NBA to know, well, so-and-so was out and so-and-so got hurt and this rotation. I don't need to give a shit. I just don't. I can look at this and figure out somebody fucked up somewhere, right? And he slid right on in there. And so for now at 5,800, which his price was not that expensive, a week or 2 ago, he was a 30-something hundred guy. So obviously the industry's reacting. Obviously the minutes are leading to more fantasy points, which is making it harder for him to hit value at this point. But if he's still underpriced, see, one game at 19.5, that's not good. But 3-game average at 35, see, now I need to figure out what's up with that last game. Was it a bad night? Did he slide back over to more of a bench role? Did his coach catch him sleeping with his wife? I don't know. All I need to know is this going to continue? Because if this continues, this is still too cheap. If this is the new norm, I need to reevaluate. That'd be a turd trap. That's what we have to figure out. That's what I let my coaches go do at DFS Army. I don't give a shit. I don't like watching basketball. I don't like watching them take 7 steps before they put the ball on the floor. I don't like watching them throw elbows and not get called. I don't like watching them jump up so high they sit on the rim and drop the ball through instead of. I don't like the game that much. I love the college game. I don't like the NBA game that much. Don't mean I can't make money at it. Don't mean I can't teach you and show you how to make money at it. I just don't like the game. I'm not a fan. But it's one of the more predictive sports in all of, fantasy and all of daily fantasy. Now, for me to kick this off of here, I'm going to go kick these guys off, hold the control button down, bring up my shooting guards. Oopsie, messed up, didn't put the and one back on there. I can sort by it again, just go sort these columns over again and again and again. That's all good. But that's going to be your hot list, so we'll sort it out by descending again. We'll do this a couple times and I'll just read the list to you. My dual threats at point guard, I should at least tell you that. My dual threats were Lillard, Russ Westbrook, Kyle Lowry, CJ McCollum, Mike Conley. And I better be watching a Jared Bayless for the minutes up. I better be watching Lance Stevenson for minutes up. Those are the types of guys I'm paying attention to. Which ones are going to make my lineup? I don't know yet. I'm not making a lineup before about 3 p.m. That's suicide. Hell, half the time you shouldn't even make one before about 5 o'clock. The way the news and in the trade deadline era, dude, Daddy don't even play. I'm just doing this for you guys. I don't even play right now. I don't care to. Look, one of the other things, another tangent, look out, tangent warning. The other thing that I try to tell people all the time is only play when you think you've got an edge. Guess what? When the news breaks and we throw all of the players back into a lotto ball machine and mix them all up and spit a dude. Too much gamble for this guy. No edge. See ya. I'm not a degenerate. I mean, I'm a degenerate. Let's call a spade a spade. But I'm not a degenerate in that I have to play every night. I play when I have an edge, and I leave when I'm not feeling it. That's probably the biggest thing that would help your game right now. Don't think you have to play every day. You don't got to play every day. Everybody thinks, oh no, dude, we still got another few months of this shit. Just be selective. Half the time, your best EV decision is keep your bankroll in your pocket. Don't even sit down. Don't even get over there and start playing. Because it ain't going to help you. It doesn't make, if you don't have an edge, you don't have fish swimming around with you, and it ain't good. If the fish have as good a shot at putting together a good lineup as you by throwing darts tonight, don't play. Don't even get involved. Have some damn discipline. Go to the gym. I mean, and I'll tell you this second part of the tangent, and I'll get back on track, I promise. But all week I was saying, man, I love Pebble Beach. Man, I love Pebble Beach. I love PGA. I'm having a great year so far. I've cashed every flipping week this year. That's hard to do in PGA, just so you know. Cashed every week, cashed pretty strong. A couple of GPP min cashes that would have destroyed cash, so I'm going to call them a heavy cash week because they would have been. And yeah, you can call semantics on me and say, yeah, but you didn't, man. No, I would have. So to me, I'm 4 or 5 weeks in a row of hard cashing. Last week swept everything. Week before did all right. I'm not playing this week. I didn't even put a lineup together. Didn't even play around with it. Didn't even look at any stats. Because I saw Pebble Beach and I said it's 3 rounds on different courses, which is fine. But it's with all those amateurs and 6 and 7 hour rounds. And I was going to look at course history and be like, yep, these are the guys that do well here because they can handle the chaos, they can handle the mess. And then everybody started dropping like they got the damn plague. All these little, now, I used to call them soccer pussies. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call them golf pussies. And dude, this guy loves golf, okay? I'm one of them. But I'll get out there and play, for $1 million, I'll get out there and play in 49 degrees and rain. Hell, the way they dropped out was like rolling around holding your knee on a soccer pitch trying to draw a yellow card on your opponent. It was weak sauce, man. These dudes, you're freaking professional. You get to play a game for a living, dude. Get out there. The amateurs want to play with you. Be popular. Be the right kind of guy. Don't be Sergio Garcia slapping a sand wedge around in a trap like a little 3-year-old baby. Get your ass out there, suck it up for 4 days, and go play some damn golf. Not worth my time. Who are you, Beyonce? Give me a break. You ain't a diva. Put your pink pants on and get out there. It drives me absolutely nuts to think that these guys are going to let a little rain and whatever get in their way. It's freaking San Francisco. It's Monterey. Dude, it happens out there all the time. But when they all started dropping, I realized all these alternates come in, don't know shit about any of them, and the next thing you know, it is all lotto balled. Don't play. Have some discipline. Yeah, but I'll never win a tournament. It takes some luck to win a tournament. Yeah, that's what losers say. Go for it. That's what an itch scratcher says to justify his play. And I don't want to be the guy that then has to go justify how I rubbed my ass raw, scratching my itch to my wife or my girlfriend for losing a crap load of money in a game I never had an advantage at playing in the first place. And I played it anyway because I don't have the damn discipline to say no. One time. I got plenty of weeks left of golf. Plenty of weeks left of basketball. Back on track. Hopefully that helps some of you. I go on these little tirades, and I apologize for derailing the entire YouTube thing. I told you it was going to be long anyway, so saddle up, boys. Shooting guard and 1. Look at how shallow this spot is. It's a whole bunch of nothing. That tells me, again, I need to be looking towards the top end of the range tonight. But it doesn't mean that some of these other guys won't perform, so we're going to look at them anyway. DeMar DeRozan, CJ McCollum, Bojan. Marcus Smart makes the list for about the first time all year. And he's had some good games, has he not? Fred VanVleet. When Fred VanVleet makes your Stud matchup list. You got issues at the position. I'm sorry. You just do. Forney. This has been a turd trap lately. Let's actually scroll over here. I want to check one thing with Fournier. Let's go over to the consistency number. Oh, look at that. I just unveiled a whole bunch more of this tool. You guys got to be members and check this shit out. Fournier was running way high at the 5x number and the 6x number early this year. He ain't doing it no more. Turd trap. Even though he's getting the circle today because he's a 2-list checkbox. Turd trap. Learn to identify them. But that's where the list stops. When I come over here and sort by value, Tyreek Evans, probably another turd trap. Marco Bellinelli, probably another turd trap. Patty Mills, depends on how Popovich feels. Hoarder, Danny Green. See the shit at this position, man? This is like, golly, lotto balls once again. Fournier, that's why you pay up. You pay up for some of the consistency that you get through your DeMar DeRozan, maybe CJ McCollum. Bojan's been a little bit cheap lately. And then it's a crapshoot from there. You may dive over into the point guard spot, and you may pull one of those point guards over and double point guard it tonight. And just skip any of these shooting guard turd traps. Just crap. So, and then we go over here to the hot or not side. Whoops, just passed it up. And you're not going to see anything better. It isn't going to get any prettier. This is lipstick on a pig, man. CJ McCollum's running hot. Jared Bayless pops in again. Justin Holiday again. Bojan. There's a duplicate in Bojan. There we go. That's about all I care about. Shy, Seth, nah. Julian Washburn's another one I'd be watching. 4 points, only up to 17. 8 more minutes, though. 31-minute game last week. So, I mean, there's a little bit of potential there. If you really have to punt something off, a little bit of potential there. Drop score probably over on Fanduel. But not real strong at 17, 11, 17 points, 7 points. Not real strong. Get 31 minutes again. What's he doing? Standing in a corner the whole time? I don't even know his game. I don't need to know his game to know he isn't doing much. He doesn't have any peripherals with those numbers. You know? So, but if you really had to punt something, this position is trash tonight. Pay all the way down in one spot, pay up at another. Bada bing, bada boom. Maybe you're on to something. I have no idea. But what I'm going to do is go over to the small forwards now, and then I'm going to just leave that list up for you to look through and look at on the and one side of things. And then I'm going to read the list and give you the duplicates. On the and one list, Kawhi Leonard, PG-13, DeMar DeRozan with a Q tag, LBJ with a Q tag, Bojan. These small forwards look different than what I had before. Well, it's not truly sorted by, because I'm all jacked up in here with not sorting it out the first time. So you're going to get some weaker matchups in there. They're going to be a little bit out of order. See if I can sort it descending again. Maybe it'll go back to normal for the column. There it goes. All right. But you can see it's a much deeper position. These next 3 spots, power forward, whatnot, they're deeper positions, okay? Center, deeper positions. That's a good sign. That's where you're going to find your playing around. Kawhi, PG-13, DeMar DeRozan, LBJ, Bojan, Marcus Morris, and I stopped there. Value was Gallinari, Kyle Anderson, Taron Prince, Tyreek, Bellinelli again, so you got to watch for the turd traps. There were no duplicates. Hot list was Justin Holiday, Isaac Dang, and then Lance Stevenson minutes up, Washburn minutes up. Jason Tatum, I hate putting on the list because Jason Tatum does not, he's too up and down. There was only one duplicate at the small forward spot, and it was Bojan. And Bojan's also a shooting guard, so you might use him over on the shooting guard list and then go with Kawhi and PG-13. Or, DeRozan at the small forward so that you can go Bojan and punt it off with Washburn or something like that at shooting guard. And you don't need to roster 2 on DraftKings. What am I thinking? But there's got to be some playing and some finagling that you're going to have to do if you're building by hand. If not, mix it up in the optimizer. Let the optimizer do it for you. Power forward. Whoops. There's the 3. When this shuffles out, I'll read the list to you. And it's jacked up again, of course. So we got to resort it. That's the only thing that you got to kind of keep resetting the system and going back and forth. But okay, 22 for Kawhi, 15 for Paul George. There's a big gap there. Tells you Kawhi's got the better matchup. Doesn't mean he's going to hit his ceiling over Paul George. It just means he's got a better matchup. His floor is a little bit safer, but PG-13's got a pretty good floor. But when I'm looking at power forwards, again, the matchup list: Kawhi, PG-13, LaMarcus Aldridge with the Q tag, Horford, LBJ with the Q tag, Marcus Morris again, right? And then I cut it off and I go value with Rab, which we remember from the other night, right? Gallinari, Sabonis, Aminu, Aaron Gordon, and then the hot list. The other two value guys, Horford and PG-13, hit the value list, which is funny because PG-13 did not hit the value list over at the small forward slot, but he hit it as a power forward. Tells me we might be needing to use some small forwards as a power forward. Then I look down the list, and Al Horford is always a little bit underrated. That's an interesting one. Rab's the hot one. That's the only other duplicate. So your duplicates are PG-13, Horford, and Rab. Those are your stronger power forward plays tonight. You go over to the center spot. I'll go ahead and show you that one as well. Probably going to have to sort this one out again. There we go. It's all jacked up. Ah, jeez. Thought I kicked that one off. There we go. Get out of here. Now, see, it's fairly deep. Again, you know, so like I said, those last three spots, small forward, power forward, center, are fairly deep. You got Karl-Anthony Towns, Vucevic, Miles Turner, LMA with the Q tag, Horford, Ibaka. That's the ones that I put on the and one. On the value list, Rab, Sabonis, Valanciunas, Steven Adams. On the hot list, Thies, Dieng, that silly Podol guy, Poodle, whatever, the Poodle. We'll call him the Poodle. He's the one that ends up on the hot list, but I'm not probably really all that worried about him. The duplicates, Cat hit the value list, Miles Turner hit the value list, Ivan Rab hit the hot list, and Sabonis hit the hot list. So those are your guys. So if you really just want the duplicates tonight and then play around with everything else yourself, Lillard, Westbrook, Lowry, CJ McCollum, which, by the way, I need to tell you something about CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum hit second on the shooting guard list and fifth on the point guard list. Stronger as a shooting guard tonight. Conley was a duplicate. Bojan was a duplicate. Fournier technically was, but I'd scratch him off. Bojan was the only small forward, and power forward is PG-13. Horford, Ivan Rab. Centers, Cat, Miles Turner, Ivan Rab again, and Sabonis. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 with duplicates. 15, 16 guys. That's your core. That's what you're kind of building around tonight. The rest are all ancillary products that mix in and mix out. So, in an effort to show you a little bit of how I would do that, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to shrink this down just a little bit so we can see a little bit more of it. I've got the main slate called up. I would come down here. I would uncheck all of the boxes of the guys, you know, that I'm after. But I'm also going to take a look at some of these guys here. This is going to take a whole separate video, so I'm not going to do it all at once. But let's say I'm going to sort by value. Rab's going to be way up there. I'm still going to bring him back down to earth. I like them all at around, say, my core at around 5.5x. So if I bring him all the way down to, say, 5.5x, I'm going to have to sort it back by salary here. And the reason why is because then he won't shuffle around when I find him. So Russell Westbrook, call him about 5.25, 5.5x. I can juice him just a smidge. Get him up to that 5.5. LeBron James was okay, but his value's low. If I really wanted LeBron James, I'd have to doctor his points. PG-13, fine. I get you up around 5.5. Karl-Anthony Towns, you're at 5.75. Bring you down to about 5.5. Kyrie Irving didn't want him tonight. Kawhi was in a good spot. Bring you up to about 5.5. Vucevic, not bad. Bring you up to about 5.5. Actually, we're going to bring you down just a smidge. Lillard, already at 5.5. Conley, wow, they don't like him at all. Conley hit my hot list and everything but my value list. So I'm going to actually manually put him up there. Yeah, 454 points is a little much. But now I'm going to start getting him up into that 5.5 range along with him. Collins, Nurkic, Aldridge up around 5.5 if he plays. DeRozan up about 5.5. You know, if LaMarcus is questionable and DeRozan is too. If DeRozan was not, I would have juiced him up even higher. Lou Williams, Harrell, Lowry. Lowry's at 5.3x, but we'll give him a little bit extra. CJ McCollum is way down the list. And honestly, that's probably about right. But because he's hitting these lists, we'll give him a little bit. And all I'm doing is just setting this up to pull. The reason why I want them all around 5.5x is I want them all to kind of pull in about the same. I want them to mix and match. This is how I do it. A lot of people do this differently. I want them to mix and match. I don't want it to be all top 3 lineups of one guy and then, you know, next 3 lineups of other guys, next 3 lineups of other guys. Gallinari, bring you down to earth. So when I'm going through here, Sabonis was running hot. We can leave him there. Wiggins, Bayless, Tatum. Sorry, I'm not touching Tatum. Don't like him. There's Bojan. Bojan's coming up. Bojan might come up more. I don't mind seeing him in there. Marcus Morris hit the value list, which was interesting, but he doesn't have any value in his salary. Fournier, we're going to drop him down just to make sure he doesn't appear. Kuzma, Isaac wasn't. What a weird one for him. Dedmon, Jeremy Grant, Justin Holiday wasn't bad. So we won't get him quite up there, but this is just all kind of a feel thing. I'm just trying to build something that will mix and match. And I'll take a little bit off of Rab so that he does pull in pretty hard because he's too cheap. Marcus Smart, it liked. Schroeder, Shai, Hoyter, Hayward, Aminu. It liked Aminu a little. He's already in there. Taron Prince, we're going to drop him. In fact, we're going to drop him a little bit more. It would be okay if I didn't see him at all tonight. DJ, Bryn Forbes, Selvmack, Van Vliet. I'm leaving where he is. I know he hit the list, but whatevs. Zubac, Jermichael Green, Bertrands. Bertrands needs to probably come up. Valanciunas is fine. Kyle Anderson probably needs to come down a little bit, down into that 5.5 range so that he doesn't pull in everywhere. If he pulls in a little bit, I'm okay with it. I just don't want him pulling in everywhere. Patty Mills, if he pulls in a little bit, that's okay too. Might tweak him down just a touch. Take about half a point off of him, put him on that 5.5 barrier. That just comes from a little bit of play. Bellinelli didn't like him last night. Take him kind of out of the mix. Danny Green, Evans, Lance Stevenson. If I had to see some Lance Stevenson, I guess I'd be okay with it. But we'd rather not. All right, so that's pretty good, okay? That's kind of how I'm doing these player pools, right? I'm not messing with the exposures much. I'm not doing much else. Now I'm going to go down here. I'm going to put up about 5 lineups, about 3 uniques, and I'm going to use tournament mode, and I'm going to optimize it. And I'm just going to see what it gives me. Lillard, McCollum, were they on our list? Tyreek Evans, Bertrands, Miles Turner, DeRozan, Rob, Horford, were they all on our list? Of course they were. Patty Mills, Marcus Smart. See how it mixed it completely? It didn't give me Lillard. It gave me just a ton of mixture. CJ at the point guard, Bojan at the shooting guard, which we already mentioned that might happen. Bertrands, it loves it some Bertrands. So I've got to go back up here, find Bertrands. Where'd he go? The easiest way to find him is to use the search feature. Thought I could find it with the smiley faces faster. What's his salary? $4,200. So I'm watching over here now. $4,200. There's Bertrand's. Got to bring him down a little bit. I don't want to see that much Bertrands in my list. I don't want 100% CJ McCollum. I don't want 100% Miles Turner. I am okay with 100% Ivan Rabb. Lillard in 4 of 5 lineups, right? So McCollum and Turner need to come down. Lillard, Horford. So McCollum needs to come down to, say, 37.5. We'll see if he disappears or if he still pulls in a little bit. 36.5, let's talk about 35.8. Somewhere, I'm just guessing. 48.38, call it, say, 47.4. And let's see what that does to things. Let's see how that mixes up the exposures. Re-optimize. You just got to do this. You got to go optimize, play with it, optimize, play with it, optimize, play with it. Horford now all of a sudden's in everything. Rab's still in everything. Bojan's way up there. Marcus Smart's way up there. If I don't want Marcus Smart in there as much, 27. If I don't want Horford in there as much, 37. Bring them down a little bit at a time. Then you're going to go back up here and you're going to re-optimize. And we'll see if it doesn't drop Horford out a little bit and bring somebody else back in there. There's Lowry all of a sudden. But Rab's in 5, Leonard, Lowry, Bojan. So now look at the mix I'm getting now. Don't pay attention too much to these numbers. They don't tell you a whole hell of a lot. What you're looking for is the players you picked, the research you did, and who you're looking for. Lowry, Mills, Bojan, Rab, Horford, Tyreek, DeMar DeRozan, Kawhi Leonard. That's a pretty strong lineup. Patty Mills, Bojan. See, again, it mixed it up a little bit. It's liking it some Patty Mills. Bojan, Tyreek Evans. Don't really like him. Might go uncheck him from the player pool completely. Ivan Rad, Miles Turner, Kyle Lowry, Sabonis, Russell Westbrook. Look at this. You know, different lineup. I don't know which one's going to do well and which one's not. I know that most of these players will have pretty good games. Some are going to have great games. Some are going to be duds. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't just focus really, really tightly on about 10 guys and then end up with 3 of them being duds and fucking my night over. I want to mix it around a little bit. It's more of an MME build approach to kind of like a 3 lineup system. But I've got 3 fairly different. I've got a little bit of commonality. I've got a lot of Rab. I'm going to keep that probably. You know, got some Bojan. I'll probably keep that. Don't know if I'll keep the Patty Mills. But if I got 2, 3, 4 players in there that are kind of repeating heavily through, that's okay as long as they're guys I'm really, really strong on tonight. If they're not, I'll adjust their points and take them and bump them out. And then I'll go find them the guys that I am high on because I'm high on them for a reason, and I'll bump them in until I get it mixing. But I just don't want to see it go Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry, and then stop completely. I'd rather see Kyle Lowry and then no Kyle Lowry, then none, then a little bit, and then more, you know, whatever. That's kind of what I'm after. That's what I'm trying to figure out in my player pool, how to mix it up. It's a little bit of an art form. It takes a little bit of practice, but that's why you need to become a member so you can get in here and play with the tool. So we're at 32 minutes. Told you it'd go long. Apologize for that. But hopefully you got a lot out of that beginning half. A couple of those rants really helped center your mind. Hopefully you see a little bit about how to use these tools. You see how to construct a list. And you can see how this benefits your play and how this is going to make you a stronger player. There's going to be ups and downs. There just are. There's no getting around that, no matter what method you use, no matter who you listen to as a coach. There is no magic button. There are guys that win a lot because they know how to cover contests. They know how to spread out. They've got the bankroll that lets them spread out. Those other micro rollers like you, like maybe me, whatever, that don't really risk a lot of money in a night, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. That's just the way it is. There's no unfair advantage here. There's people that are smartly using their leverage of their bigger bankrolls to spread out, cover more bases, and slowly grind. Instead of going for the 100% ROI, they might be going for a 25% ROI, but they're getting it every damn night. So now it's just kind of like turning a crank. But we can get you to that spot. You need the coaching. You need the access to the experts. You need the access to the teaching. Content and tools are great, but it's really the one-on-one interaction, the group interaction that's going to make you a better player faster. That's why you need to come inside. DFSArmy.com, use code CHOPS. Down there in the comments section, probably throw a link to the research station in there for you. You know, just so, I don't know if you can open it up and look at it. Doubt you can. But at least it gives you that link to see the tools so that when we do open it up, you've got it if you want to bookmark it. Not a bad way to go. Click like, click subscribe, comment. I'll probably answer you back. Probably. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.